The skies have cleared the way for Santa's arrival, but dangerously low temperatures are still here for the night.
In a lot of places around the state, the temperature finally came back above zero, even if it doesn't feel like it. We still have wind chill advisories in place tonight. Let's check in with meteorologist Greg Perez. We're just curious how cold it's actually going to get tonight.
So for the eastern plains, the northeastern plains, where we have that wind chill advisory in effect, we have wind chills as low as minus 25 degrees. Another dangerously cold evening is something that we really need to prepare for. I'm going to go out and say tonight is another night where you need to stay inside, keep that heater up and stay warm. Tomorrow, a little bit of a different story. Let's talk about today though. Observed high temperature around 11 degrees in Denver metro region, 9 degrees in Fort Collins. Buena Vista, look at you. Upper 30s and lower 40s for today. Currently though, very chilly, 5 degrees in Denver. We are in the single digits all up and down the plains. Double digits though in Kremling and Leadville, Steamboat Springs. Not too bad at around 15 degrees. But there's that wind chill advisory that we're talking about that lasts up until 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. And what you'll notice is it's mainly for the eastern plains and even bleeds through parts of the I-25 corridor. But this number is something that we really need to be concerned about. Another very, very cold night as we're expecting clear skies, maybe a little bit of snowfall. Overnight low temperatures dropping back down to around minus 3 degrees tonight. Once again, very chilly in the metro region. Tomorrow we warm up. And for Santa's flight tomorrow evening, things are looking great. I'll give you the full forecast coming up.
Thank you, Greg. Anybody trying to get through DIA today, out of DIA today? I am so sorry. It was a terrible mix of delays, cancellations, long lines for the third straight day in a row now. People had to wait hours trying to get rebooked or finally getting on board their flight if it wasn't canceled. More than 495 flights were canceled. Another 900 were delayed today, according to FlightAware. On top of all of that, a lot of passengers also had luggage problems.
I woke up to an announcement saying that they had to deboard everyone off the plane because they didn't have enough staff to get all the passengers' baggages on the plane.
DIA says those ramp workers are employed by the airlines, not the airport. A spokesperson for United says the delays could be caused by a number of things. We obviously have these freezing temperatures and equipment can fail, and employees need to take a break to warm up every now and then. Aurora police are looking tonight for at least 2 people who've been opening up the fire hydrants in that city, spilling millions of gallons of water.
It's a mess. They struck for the first time back on October 30th and most recently early yesterday morning. Here's 9 News reporter Matt Jablow.
I have not heard of anything like this. This is pretty new to me.
Water everywhere and not a drop to drink.
Exactly right.
The Aurora Fire Department says vandals have opened up fire hydrants in the city 5 times in the past 3 months.
We are talking about a lot of water.
Spilling at least 2.5 million gallons of water.
This is serious.
Sherry Jo Stoll is the public information officer for Aurora Fire. She says the vandals struck most recently on Thursday around 2:30 in the morning, right outside Vassar Elementary School. The hydrant outside a nearby middle school has also been hit in the middle of the night, and the hydrant near the Tower Community Fellowship has been hit twice.
This is the last thing we need to have to worry about.
Firefighters say it's a hazard for any number of reasons, especially during frigid weather like we're experiencing right now.
Roads become sheets of ice, become impassable in some cases. And then for the fire department, if we need to get somewhere, provide water for a structure fire, now we have a lot less pressure in that area to get water on a fire.
Aurora police are now looking for at least 2 suspects in a black pickup truck.
One is driving the getaway vehicle. One is actually opening up the hydrant.
Sherry Jo Stoll says if they're caught, the suspects will be in some seriously hot water.
Yeah, there are absolutely going to be charges. We want the public's help in finding them.
Stoll says in addition to reducing water pressure and creating a hazard on the roads, the vandals could be damaging the city's water infrastructure by opening up the fire hydrants. Anyone with information about the suspects is asked to call Metro Crime Stoppers. Jenny?
I'm having a hard time understanding why. Like, what in the world are we doing here?
I think we all know by now that there is no accounting for the behavior of some of our fellow Coloradans.
This one is, it's just straight nonsense. All right, Matt, thank you.
Yeah. Talk about a Grinch, right? Many people don't have a home tonight after 2 apartment fires today. South Metro firefighters responded to both. First happened on Windermere Street in Littleton around 8:30 this morning. Firefighters had to rescue 2 people. Luckily, no one was hurt. It's unclear how many people are out of their homes tonight. The cause of that is still under investigation. The second fire happened around 11 this morning at the Rail Apartments in unincorporated Arapahoe County near Dry Creek Road near I-25. South Metro fire officials say it was tough to extinguish the flames between the first and second floors. At least one hose line froze. No one was hurt, though, and the cause there also under investigation.
Police in North Glen are investigating after a man was found shot to death in an apartment last night. They're calling this a homicide. Police got a call around 11:45 last night to a home just north of East 118th Avenue. A woman was trying to give the man CPR in an apartment. She said she found him lying there after she came home from work. The man died at the apartment from multiple gunshot wounds, according to police. It's unclear if police are looking for any suspects at this time. And police in Brighton are also investigating after 2 people were found shot to death last night. Dispatch got a call requesting police around 1 o'clock this morning. Then the caller hung up. Moments later, neighbors in the 300 block of Dogwood Avenue called police saying 2 people needed medical attention. Police found a man and a woman, both with gunshot wounds. The man died at the scene. The woman died at the hospital a short time later. It is unclear if police are looking for suspects in this shooting as well.
Since warming shelters started opening Wednesday, Denver has sheltered hundreds of people a night. Just last night, 386 people were sheltered at 3 warming centers. Denver had to open up additional warming centers after capacity maxed out at the Coliseum on Wednesday. Nearly 2,000 people were at shelters last night as well, according to the city. Both the Coliseum and downtown Denver YMCA are open as warming centers tonight. The city is working to decommission one of those warming shelters tomorrow by noon and is connecting people to other resources. With more migrants also arriving in Denver, the city has sheltered nearly 3,000 people each night. Another 168 migrants arrived in the city overnight. In the past 2 weeks, the city has helped nearly 1,800 migrants. Denver Mayor Michael Hancock told CNN this morning he wants the federal government to do more to help.
We've had conversations with the federal government. Right now, the best the federal government can do really is the emergency food and shelter program that we can all apply for. Cities are bearing the brunt, and I've said this all week long. Well, really the inactivity, the lack of leadership coming out of Washington on this issue. We've had opportunities to address it. We haven't as a nation, and it's because of the unfortunate partisan politics in Washington that has put us in this situation.
Since the start of the month, the city has also spent about $2 million in shelter, transportation, food, and other costs.
In an effort to help Denver, some migrants are being shuttled to other parts of Colorado. Peak Community Church is one of 2 churches in Fort Collins helping to shelter migrants. Pastor Eddie Hopkins says they've heard harrowing stories from their Venezuelan guests fleeing violence in their home country.
Here are people who have been through a nightmare, a living nightmare, and I see a lot of joy, a lot of strength, and I've just learned a tremendous amount from them.
Hopkins says even through it all, they've also had moments of joy in their few short days at the church. The Larimer County Office of Emergency Management says they are working with 2 churches and the Red Cross to temporarily shelter 57 migrants.
The U.S. House passed a massive $1.7 trillion spending bill tonight, just ahead of the deadline for the government funding to expire. The bill supports critical government operations, provides emergency aid for natural disasters in Ukraine. The Senate passed the measure yesterday. Both chambers also passed a 1-week extension, so the year-long bill known as Omnibus can be processed and signed before the money runs out. 2023 Omnibus bill provides $858 billion for defense and more than $772 billion for other domestic programs. More than $24 million of that funding will be used here in Denver for 14 projects. Most of the projects are aimed at providing more housing and essential services to those experiencing homelessness, including the construction of 74 new low-income apartments and towards converting the now abandoned Clarion Hotel into housing for those experiencing homelessness, plus money to help the Food Bank of the Rockies.